This is a silver chart on a weekly basis, and looks like we're heading south again. Of course, it's below 29. It's in the 28 territory. Now, I'm hearing a lot of talk about being down at 20, below 20, 15. Now that it's going down, those are irresponsible projections. Now, I want to state what I said originally, and I'm going to state where I was off and where I might be right. Though ultimately, I stated that silver was probably going to go down about 24, 25, or below 26. That's what I thought. And right now I'm beginning to think that is where it's going to go to. I got faked out here because it looked like it went steady for a while. We had this bullish hammer, so I went long. I went long around 30, below 31. Now, as far as the timing of this is where I was off. I expected the pullback to be here and completed by the end of April. So, looking at the end of April, it was around here. It seemed like it had a bounce, bullish hammer. And no, it's continuing south. But I originally thought that this cycle would complete out a new low. This is like when you're looking back at this all the way, we pull this back out. The highest high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and a low. And this is actually a double top, so it's probably heading south a little further, but I think the predictions about below $20, that's the typical irresponsible predictions. They're way the hell off. Now, there is a lot of buying pressure going on behind the scenes, people buying up silver. And yes, I sometimes do think there is a conspiracy out there, but I'm not just saying that because everything in business is a conspiracy. There's conspiracies go on through all businesses, through all, not that it's like cloak and dagger, but there's always, in other words, people are always colluding and plotting on how to make money or compete with other people any possible way they can. That's just the way things are. And it's like that at every level of business. So I would think that they're trying to shake people loose right now. That's one reason I didn't buy leverage. So, I'm in straight normal ETFs on the metals. And yes, I am mainly in the physical metals, 100% all the way. Not 100%, but I'm 100% for physical metals. But I want to point out that this downturn, now that it's occurring again, you're getting some wild predictions out there of 2008 levels. It's not going to go that low. It's not going to go that low, but it is probably going to go below 26. Now, looking at charts tonight, it looks like everything's getting hammered, including palladium and platinum. And fundamentally, palladium and platinum are very short supply. Now, I don't want people who don't hold palladium and platinum not to look at them, because if you're seeing these, say for instance, all the metals start going up this year, and they will. That's not even a bad assumption. They will. I'm not being a cheerleader. They will, because China is going to appreciate their yuan. The dollar is going to be devalued again with the debt situation. There'll be another downgrade on the U.S. debt, and they're going to break the budgets again. They always break the budgets. They never stay within budget. They're going to break the budgets. And, we've seen what's going on with the elections in Europe. Austerity is out the window. So money printing's in. And, all the smart money knows this. So maybe there is some kind of games going on where they're trying to drive it down as far as possible. Electronically, doing naked shorts or whatever they're doing. There could be. There could be. I'm not going to say it's not. But as far as, it going down to 22, 20, 15, all this garbage for silver, that's not going to happen. So I just want to point that out. Now, when this stuff goes up, I'm going to tell you the guys that are going to probably get hammered the most. It's usually these guys, the snake oil salespeople. I had to pick this up off of Urban Dictionary. Professionally priced. That's usually, it goes on to say, and there's a lot of it. This is basically your upper middle class professionalisms, doctors, lawyers, and CPAs, and designers, and other bullshit, The cost of an item that is unreasonably priced or unduly expensive when compared to similar items, similar to excess fees for professional service such as doctor, CPA, designer, and other professions. Now, um, you know, I basically have a beef with these guys, the doctors. Now, you know, when you get your money for silver or whatever the hell it is and it goes way the hell up, I think this is where people are probably going to be in a situation where they're going to look at, wow, I got all this money. Well, you're better off keeping your damn mouth shut because, the one thing that's going to happen is you'll lose it if you open your mouth too much. You will. You will. And I do want to point out a lot of these people, like doctors, CPAs, attorneys, some of these high-end designers and stuff, they're a bunch of garbage. They'll take no guilt in taking, extremely high fees from people, and because they got a huge ego. And in the case of doctors, like for instance, most of the people who have looked into alternative medicine know that there's many cures out there that are cheap from nature, and one of the best ones is medicinal marijuana, right? And you think the doctors don't know this, but they'll sit there like saying, sorry, take some chemotherapy, you may try it, see if it happens, bill will only be $300,000, $500,000, and you'll die and suffer, and they'll say it's successful if you live for 5 years, right? Yet, you can grow a plant called marijuana, take some oil out of its leaves, and you can be cured. All these professionals, they know this. They play dumb. You can't convince them because what they're about is money. So, I want to point out another angle because right now, people are looking at these metals are going down, they're losing money. I'm thinking that too. I'm losing money, but I'm not really losing money because I'm not selling nothing. Like I would sell silver today if somebody gave me $50 an ounce for it. I'd sell it to a doctor right now for $50 an ounce. That'd be no problem. There you go, Bob. I'll go rebuy it back. But that's where the paper and electronic prices or spot prices might be different. But I think that eventually the silver's probably after it goes really high this year. But if in a few years it's going to be way the hell up there. It's going to be up to like hundreds and hundreds of dollars an ounce. And when you get this kind of money, be wise and make sure you don't tell anybody about it because you will have gazillion friends. And, in other words, people that will use you very quickly. And, it's almost like you have to have the attitude of these jerks. Because they don't give a shit about anybody. They just basically talk and they act like they do. And they're snake oil sales, the professional services for the most part. In most cases, like somebody like doctor, they do more damage to people than they ever do any good. It's all about money. So I do want to point out though, when you get your money, if you carefully reinvest in the next step, it's not going to be metals because metals are going to peak out at one point in time, and that's not going to be the place to be. It could possibly be real estate. It could be agriculture too. Agricultural stocks. It may very well be. Or some other thing that's coming on that's useful to people. But I just again want to repeat that this downturn, I was wrong about it one way I was wrong about it was the timing. But it looks like it's probably going to play out to where I thought it was going to go below 26. It's just that it's going to take to the end of May. It's a slow slide. Slow, torturous slide. Now, if you're short position, fine, but I am not jumping in a short position. I'm not. I think it's going down further, but I'm not jumping in a short position. I just don't like shorting silver. I don't. I mean, it was difficult for me to do that before, and that's why I jumped out of it. But I just want to say, don't get too worried about the wild predictions out there, like $15 silver. That's nuts. It's not going to happen. And when the money does really accelerate as far as the silver prices going up way higher in fiat dollars, you're better off keeping your mouth shut because you're going to have a lot of users around you. Many users. Believe me, you will. You will. That's where people are going to get tripped up too.